What's up, everybody? Welcome to State of Simply Cyber. This is the Q4 edition. Every single quarter, I do basically hold an all hands meeting for the community. I find this as to hold myself accountable, to stay grounded, and to make sure that you, who I serve, are we're aligned and having this open communication, this open alignment, and make sure that I'm delivering on these expectations. Mod chat does keep me honest, tactically speaking, but on a more strategic level, I do want to bring you all in and have that. Definitely shout out to the mod team as always. So let's get into it. If you have any questions, just drop them in chat and we'll start going through it. So what are we going to be doing? It's a standard agenda. That looks kind of small to me. So let's do this. Is that better for everybody? Standard agenda. I'll do some announcements, 90-day roadmap. What did I say we're going to be doing? And then what did we do and all this, right? So basically getting into the details. As always, I want to thank Mrs. Auger and my family, my wife and kids. Like literally without their support, I don't do this. Basically they're my rock, right? So many of you have loved ones and support structures, and you know the value of those things. And I just, make it abundantly clear that without them, I can't do it. You'll get to meet Mrs. Auger and the fam at Simply CyberCon if you're interested. Do want to say love to the stream mods, right? Base cases in chat right now. BSEC, Kimberly, Justin, Jesse, Jenny, Chuck Sapp, Stefan Walvogo, Eric, Joseph, Chris Tyler Ramsby, and very new mod. Let's give some love. Didn't even make it to the slide deck because it's so new. Chris Whitlock. Chuck Sapp is responsible. He works with the newsletter and also provides several key things. He was the brain behind the Simply Cyber Community Challenge. Shout out to Chris Whitlock, new mod. And as always, the squad and the greater community. People like Alpha Sierra, who has taken on a lot of social media stuff with Simply CyberCon. People in the community like FedEx, who are sharing love. Chris Young sharing his wins and inspiring others. So just we are a community. I'm just a member of the community. I see you. I thank you. And I really appreciate all that you guys do. So what does Simply Cyber look like? Just so people may or may not know. The breakout of it is there's two business things, but there's three business units. Cyber education. So we have Simply Cyber Academy. This is where you can get all your GRC learning. We do the daily cyber threat brief, instructor-led webinars. I try to produce content that answers questions that you guys have. And we have the conference. Also on the media side, we've got Simply Cyber Media Group. So we have podcasts of different types. We do the Simply Cyber Live, which I did last night, bringing a reverse engineer on stream to talk to you guys. We've got other content. I'm working on a 24/7 lo-fi channel that I'll tell you about in a minute. But we've got other podcasts. Wade Wells, who was just on stream, and Josh Mason started Simply Defensive. Jack Scott and Erica McDuffie with Two Cyber Chicks, and we've got more coming up. We've got the newsletter. If you don't subscribe to the newsletter, go to !newsletter in chat right now, and you can sign up for that. It's not a salesy stupid thing. I'm terrible at business, so it's just really just straight value for everybody. And finally, the third segment I want to point out is community, and that's where all you live. A lot of businesses are like, let's activate our community. Okay, for me, community is its own thing, and it needs its own care and nurturing and love. And this is where a nonprofit conference like Simply CyberCon comes. It's an opportunity to deliver and serve the community. And for that reason, I make it its own, vertical, basically. Okay. Simply Cyber values. I talk about this all the time. Values aren't just something like a Fortune 500 company would do where they print it out and they stick it on the wall in the lobby. And they're like, these are our values. I live these things. And I can tell you for a fact, this is an amazing thing that I always share with people who are new. Simply Cyber community members, we have gotten such momentum and such gravity that people who don't exhibit these values, they pretty much kind of like wash out of the community, or they're just not interested in our community. So again, I want to thank all of you who basically make this normal. And because it's normal, people who gravitate towards this understand these are normal things. Inclusion. support, inclusion. We just had a panel with a bunch of different people, making resources accessible to everyone, doing the jaw jacking, doing the produced videos to answer questions, right? Support. So many people in chat just on this stream were talking about their wins, getting a pay raise with Steph Cluis, Will Reed getting a job. Like, we are supporting each other, and we are enabling and empowering each other to have as much success as we want, as we can put in, as we can go for it. All these other values are here. I'm not going to go through them all, but I believe these values. I live these values, and I know that the Simply Cyber community, basically exhibits these values. So let's talk about what happened over the last quarter. Some of these things may be familiar. Some of them may not. Okay, so we did a massive newsletter refresh. If you've been getting the Simply Cyber newsletter, you saw the refresh. I got a lot of great feedback on the refresh of that. I want to shout out Chuck Sapp. You'll notice he's a co-author on the newsletter now when you receive it in email. Shout out to Kimberly McKnight, who was the brain behind the look, feel, and aesthetics of the new newsletter. She absolutely crushed it like a boss. Okay, so the newsletter got updated. Mad value, super cool. If you like the newsletter, let us know in chat. Also, the PBCC hybrid course, I did launch a course. It's the personal branding for cyber career. There's several people in chat who took that course, had amazing things to say about it. I'm still trying to figure out how to deliver that course. I do think it needs to be an in-person course, or like cohort-based, not asynchronous. But that course is out there, and it's got mad value. I haven't heard, people who have taken it have said incredible things about how it can help them stand out in a sea of people in our industry. We've got Simply CyberCon. It hasn't happened yet. It happens November 1st. But there's massive amounts of work that have already gone into it. Shout out to Josh Mason, Chris Whitlock, Kimberly McKnight, and others who, Alpha Sierra, who are really making this thing special. We've got all our speakers lined up. Joe Hudson, James McQuiggan are our MCs for the 2 tracks. We'll be live streaming it. Come back at 1 p.m. today on the Simply Cyber Con YouTube channel, the Simply Cyber Con YouTube channel, for more information. Shout out to Casually Joseph, who's been instrumental in setting up the speaker lunch, the happy hour, very involved in senior organization activities. Casually Joseph, couldn't do it without him, 100%. And then finally, personally, I in the Simply Cyber community got to collaborate with one of my favorite groups, the Black Hills crew. And we collaborated on a shirt, the GRC getting its love, Black Hills and Simply CyberCon. I own this shirt. I know many of you in chat own this shirt. Kind of a dream come true to get to collab with them on merch. I love their merch, and it's absolutely sick. Also, shout out, I'm wearing the Simply CyberCon official 2024 jersey or shirt for this year, and Kimberly McKnight designed this. You can get that over at Cybersecurity Central. So Haircut Fish, Simply CyberCon will be virtual. Yes, if you want it to be. We're going to be streaming tracks 1 and track 2. There'll be a Discord to support everything. It's all about good times. Bonus material, what did it happen? Now, one whiff or fail. We do have Charles Finfrock micro courses for the Academy. We were unable to deliver on that. I told you we would get it done. I will say that there was nobody banging the table screaming out, when is the Finfrock micro courses coming? Some of you may even not have known. Charles has just got other priorities and has been unable to complete this course. It happens. Stephen McMichael has joined Simply Cyber Academy. You may know him as CPA to Cyber. He's joined the Academy as an instructor, and he has released his first course, Cyber Resilience, using the NIST cybersecurity framework, which maps to the Accolade certification, entry-level GRC cert. In fact, if you get the course, you actually get a complimentary $125 voucher to go sit for the exam with 100%, literally 100% pass guarantee. You take the exam and fail, you get to take it again on us. Steve's going to be working on some more. Again, the last slide will speak to this, but just know that Steve's helping as an instructor, and it's really great. He's got another course coming out in November. Also, fun fact, Steve will be hosting a workshop on October 31st for Simply CyberCon I'll give you all the details at 1 p.m. at the Simply CyberCon update meeting. We launched another podcast, Simply Defensive. Wade Wells, who was just in chat with his daughter, and Josh Mason, many of you know him. These guys have such regulars in the Simply Cyber community, such great practitioners and individuals. We launched Simply Defensive, a brand new podcast focused on blue team activities. The response has been overwhelmingly positive. I'm super excited. They'll be doing 8 episodes a quarter, at least for the next 3 quarters. That's what they've committed to, but I hope we can get it going longer term. We're going to continue to do the community events. We did bingo today. We've got the AMA later today. I've got the calendar of events at simplycyber.io, so you can follow along on upcoming activities. We've done Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week every single Monday. I was able to get that segment on the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsored. And because it's now sponsored by ThreatLocker, every time we announce the Member of the Week, I connect with them directly and give them a $100 Amazon gift card, basically to share the spoils of war from that paid segment. And, some people have declined it. Some people have raffled it off to other people. So I love the community vibes, community spirit. And just recently, Eric Taylor had won it and raffled it off, and Jesse Johnson won that raffle. So just love the community spirit, love the embodiment of the values that we have here at Simply Cyber. So what's going to happen? What can you expect in the next couple months heading into the end of the year? So I personally, I own a business, obviously I own Simply Cyber, but I also have a consulting business, and I do work with that. I don't talk about it very often, but I have actually secured a long-term or longer-term 6-week client engagement that's going to be taking me to Atlanta. I've worked it out with my client that I will continue to be able to do the Daily Cyber Threat Brief without any impact. That was a condition to my agreement, which is super cool. This is how much I love Simply Cyber. I'm like, listen, if we can't do this, then it's not going to happen. Deal breaker. They're totally on board. So all of November, part of December, I will be in the remote studio Team Sippy Cup. I know Space Tacos loves that, and other people. James the Cooking at 35,000 feet. We'll be doing the con on November 1st. More details at 1 p.m. today. As I mentioned, we'll have another cyber risk course coming out in November from Steve McMichael. Definitely appreciate that. And I've been reached out by Try Hack Me for the AOC Advent of Cyber collaboration. I have signed up for 2 different days this year. Normally I do 1 day. I've signed up for 2 days. I can't reveal any details or anything about it, but just know that it's coming. I'm excited. The reason I bring up the 6-week client engagement is because it will be taking a massive amount of my time. So I would expect a decline in the amount of me basically in that period of time, simply because I'm going to be hyper focused on that. What I want to happen, community empowerment. Definitely want to engage more people. I've had Poner Joe reached out to me. Alpha Sierra reached out. Chris Whitlock's been doing a lot. I want to, if people want to be more involved and more responsible in doing things for Simply Cyber, awesome. Let's go. Get on board. I definitely appreciate it. I'm always very transparent. I don't demand things of people, especially if they're volunteering, but I do want to enable and empower those who want to help. So I'm trying to, scale and delegate in that capacity. So thank you if you're interested in. It seems like there's a swell in activity of people wanting to be, so I wanted to include it. Finally, some downstream concepts I'm thinking of. This is more long-term focused. We will be launching, I've been working with Red Siege. So if you know Red Siege, the Tim Medine company, they're very offensive. Mike Saunders, Jason Toomey. We're launching another podcast under the Simply Cyber Media Group on, I think, Q1 called Simply Offensive. Basically, this is going to be a podcast. I will be on-air talent. I'll be joined by various members from Red Siege. You guys are going to love this, okay? The format of... Wait, what the hell? why are we not looking at the why are we not looking at the presentation? What's going on here? Did someone shut that off? Hold on one second. Stand by. How long has it been not there? Because that's a problem. Oh, okay. You guys can see it. All right. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Cool. Let me just tell you about the Red Siege podcast really quickly. Here's the podcast. So it's gonna be like, do you guys know pardon the interruption? Like, you know how the show has like the little agenda on the side and they have hard time limits? This show is gonna be 30 minutes long. There's gonna be a timer that kicks off on the start, and we're gonna pick one technique or one technology or one concept on the offensive side of the house. I'll give you an example. Empire as a post-exploitation framework, right? It's a PowerShell exploitation framework. We're like, that'll be the topic. We're going to talk about what it is, why would you use it, how does it work, all these things. Then the next segment is going to be actually showing it and talking with a practitioner from Red Siege about how they use it, what they've seen, etc. Next segment, how to defend against it. What would we do to protect ourselves from it? And then finally, a wrap-up segment. It's going to be hot, it's going to be fast, and it's going to be wildly entertaining. I can't wait. Also, I'm going to be leaning into OSINT. I do focus mostly on GRC, of course, but I've got a little bit of a bug in my bonnet for some OSINT stuff. So I obviously, because I'm going to be working in OSINT or learning more OSINT stuff, right, and skills, I want to make content around that. So get ready for that. Hold on, Will Reed. I'll answer that in a second. GRC instructors expansion. I just mentioned that Steve McMichael is making content in the academy. If there are people out there who are interested in making a course for the GRC side, so if there's a course that has to do with something GRC related, because I don't want anything in the Simply Cyber Academy that's not GRC. I want it to be the place to go to for GRC learning. Reach out to me. Very, 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 very fair and quite nice revenue sharing models. Again, we could talk business if you want. Making a course is not easy or trivial. So I will say, be mindful. I've had a couple instructors start with me and then fail to deliver or basically bail out on it. So be mindful of that. But I would like to scale up, maybe get some CMMC education in there, some NIST CSF education in there. It's just the next slide, I'll explain that. And then finally, I'm really excited to explain this. Next year at Wild West Hackin' Fest, we will be doing a live in-person hybrid daily cyber threat brief. I've been asked by many people over the years to do the daily cyber threat brief live in front of a studio audience. It's always been a bit of a logistical challenge. And this place at Deadwood is set up for it. And most of the mod team will be there. So I can be, they can basically put me in a, tell me to go over here and stand out of the way and then get the audio and visual set up correctly. So I'm super excited about all these things. There's more to come. I'll try to be as transparent as I can with everybody. I do want to say one quick thing, okay? All the always updates on simplycyber.io/Discord. Remember, there is a Simply Cyber Con Discord server as well. And then you can connect with me on socials at that URL right there. All of my socials is there. Okay, thank you, Eric. Final thing, and this is I've kind of shared this. And it's a bit of, I don't want to call it embarrassing because I don't want to, I want to be a good role model for this, but, okay. So on September 26th, specifically, I was dealing with some mental health issues, September 26th, 27th, 28th. I saw it coming. I've dealt with it once before. And some of you may have been around. Eric Taylor definitely remembers because he actually had, I actually suffered like a episode live during a daily cyber threat brief, and Eric Taylor had to come on and take over the show, which was embarrassing, but whatever. It's just the reality. Recently, September 26th, I was pushing myself super hard. I did suffer burnout. For me, when I have a burnout or a problem, It comes in the form of overload, where like I'm just overwhelmed and my brain stops like thinking. Like I don't have original thoughts. Like it's very unsettling to not have inner thoughts. Okay. And I don't like it at all. And I'm trying like hell to avoid it. I work really hard and I do a lot with Simply Cyber and try to deliver for the community and for my family, right? So sometimes I push myself a little too hard. I'm a bit of a type A. So my goal really, I'm sharing this with you just for full transparency. I'm not like I'm not a flight risk or something, but I just want you to know that I'm going to be trying really hard to systemize processes, to scale through staff augmentation, and volunteer support, and in 1099s and stuff, and use some type of automation, AI automation, or webhooks or whatever, to manage the workload while still trying to be healthy. Okay, so I tell everybody to be healthy. It applies to me too. So when I talk about other, more instructors for the academy, that's what I'm talking about. Like that's a one way to like, help others, help myself, help the academy, help the community. So Simply Cyber Media Group podcast, Josh and Wade, for example, launching Simply Defensive. That's awesome. I'm behind the scenes doing production, helping them connect with sponsors, and providing the platform that is Simply Cyber with the reach that it offers. So I can continue to deliver more to the community while balancing just the sheer volume of demand that it puts on me. I try to be cool up here, but sometimes it is sometimes it's overwhelming. Okay. All right, let's move on and not be a wet blanket. Okay. So let's move this to open forum. I'll take some Q&A from everybody right now if you want. And then if there's time, we got 6 minutes. I see some of the panelists still here. So let's do Q&A. It looks like Eric has pinned comments for me, which I definitely appreciate. Will Reed wants to know an update on the talk show release. So actually, I want to be careful when I talk about the talk show, simply because I've talked publicly about it before, and then it turned into like I got my wrist slapped. For those who don't know, in April of 2024, I went to Las Vegas and I spent a week there filming a late night talk show called Late Night with Jerry. It's in coordination with Night Studios, and it's in post-production. I don't know. I talked to the showrunner actually yesterday about it. He said that they've been editing and working on it, but there's no release date right now. We may see some teasers and stuff soon. So as soon as I have more information, Will Reed, I'm happy to drop that into the community. Of course, simplycyber.io and Simply Cyber Discord will have all that stuff. Question from Space Talk goes, oh, thank you. Yeah, and thank you, everybody. Like, hey, I love you guys. Thank you. Thanks for the support. Again, I hate making it about me. I don't want that. I want it to be about the community. I don't want the focus like, oh, like Jerry. You know what I mean? Like I want to serve. Like that's what I want to do. I want to serve. So thank you all. Space Taco says, how does OSINT XX with GRC? How can it be helpful? I love that idea. Yeah, so 100%. So like OSINT, I mean, there's a lot of ways that OSINT can happen. It can help. OSINT, honestly, it's like a lot of fun. So it's a nice, like, easy way to get people into cyber and get used to it. And also, I think it will enable, from an information security awareness training perspective, when you do OSINT, like everybody, my Aunt Dorothea knows how to use Google. So if you can show a Google dork and it show how on Google I'm able to pull, like, I don't know, her social security number, that's alarming and also feels accessible, right? Because like I know how to use Google, you know how to use Google. Holy crap, Google's got this, right? Just as an example. So we could certainly do that. And Space Tacos, I do plan on making some OSINT content, but then having this OSINT GRC mashup, kind of like Jay-Z and the Beatles, the Gray album. You guys remember that? Or Danger Mouse and MF Doom, like kind of a mashup. We'll do it that way. Oh, Maxwell Vargas, thank you. Update on Lo-Fi Radio. So check this out. All right, I'm super pumped about this. Okay, So the other day, if you didn't know, I have 3 YouTube channels, right? Simply Cyber, Simply Cyber Con, which is for the conference, and then another sleepy one called Simply Cyber Cafe. And the idea behind it was supposed to be a chill one, whatever. Okay. Now I did run some 24/7 lo-fi stuff, and it was okay. And I kind of got away from it. And recently I had some people say, would really like that lo-fi channel, Jerry. And I was like, okay, you know what? That sounds like a lot of fun. Let's boogie on it. So what I want to tell everyone is I'm going to be doing it. To me, setting up a 24/7 lo-fi channel for Simply Cyber is a really kind of fun personal project that fills my cups and gives me vibes and energy. So like I not only do I want to do it to serve the community, but also I feel like it'll be a fun thing for me to do. So I actually reached out. Okay, this is the crazy part. I reached out on Fiverr to a graphic artist, and I said, I want you to make me, right, like Lo-Fi Girl. And if you don't know who Lo-Fi Girl is, you should go check it out. But basically, hold on, can I do this? Let's do this. Hold on, Lo-Fi Girl. Let's do it. Right. So let me show you Lo-Fi Girl really quickly. I feel like almost everybody knows this. Right. So this one, obviously, Lo-Fi Girl's massive now. So like there's different ones. But anyways, there's going to be an anime version of me standing at this desk with all the retro synthwave vibes and the, retro moon and the Simply Cyber neon sign for the 24/7 lo-fi channel. So I'm going to be delivering you a 24/7 lo-fi channel, but I'm personalizing it to make it ours, right? Not just some generic thing. So anyways, I think it's wicked funny, and I think it's super cool, and I hope people like it. So I thought, listen, I thought if I'm going to put the time into a lo-fi channel, I might as well add that nice little touch of class or like quality, like elevate the quality by having a Simply Cyber custom looping GIF. Okay. All right. Any other questions? We are at time. It's 10 o'clock. I'll take a quick sniff through chat really quickly. Tech Ricky's in here. Amish Runaway. I see. Olu, Lo-Fi G. Thanks, man. Chef's Kiss. Emif likes it. So I will tell you, I'll share the animated GIF with y'all ahead of time. I mean, it would be cool to just release the channel, but I love sharing with the community and all those individuals who you guys show up every day. I know some of you wade through logs, Wade Wells. I mean, you get up at 5 a.m. to be here for the channel. I know it's not easy, right? Sometimes. So, all right, guys. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. If you have any additional questions, LeGrot, it's official. There's Dr. Jerry, Jerry Guy, and now Anime Jerry. One quick question here. Per Turnson says, being new to IT cyber with how broad the sector is, I get overwhelmed about how much there feels to learn. Any tips to stay motivated and not get burned out? Yeah, lean into what you like. Talk to other people. It's as much as it is having a support system and talking with others as it is doing the hard technical skills. Right. So just be mindful of that. There is a channel on the Simply Cyber Discord server called like Decompress and Breathe, where you can basically scream into the void if that's good for you. Ricardo Buckley, you picked a hell of a day to show up. Welcome to the party, pal. A lot going on today. All right. Just to send you guys off, remember at noon today, noon Eastern time, so in 2 hours from now, come join us on the Simply Cyber Discord server, ! Discord in chat right now to get that link. We will be doing a live AMA. It'll be very similar to the jaw jacking panel. I will definitely be there. Sometimes we're joined by other people from the community to share their thoughts, experiences. We'll run that for about an hour and then immediately go to the Simply Cyber Con stream. And I want to share this with everybody so you don't miss it. The Simply Cyber Con hype meeting will be on the Simply CyberCon YouTube channel. This is an important distinction, okay? This is the Simply CyberCon YouTube channel. This is not the primary Simply Cyber channel, okay? This is the Simply CyberCon YouTube channel. I'll put a link in chat. This is where it will be. You can see right here. This is it. This is it coming up at 1 p.m. Eastern today. Shout out to Justin Gold, Ms. Julian, and Casually Joseph for, basically yelling at me at a bar in Deadwood, telling me that I needed to get this stuff going. So thank you. I appreciate the motivation. I'm going to drop a link in chat for the SCCon YouTube server or YouTube channel. There you go. I hope you can join us. All right, guys. Thank you for all you do. Shout out to the mods. Tyler Ramsby, Hack Smarter, Kimberly Can Fix It. Obviously Justin, Chris, DJ Bisek, Eric, Josh, Stefan Walvogel, Justin Gold, aka JMod. The team couldn't do it without you guys. Hashtag mod love. Hashtag Team SC. Thanks, Jesse. Guys, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I'll see you at noon. But until next time, love you. Stay secure.